Hello, and thank you for joining us at Biotech Week Boston. I'm Alex Nicolaitis from BPI, and joining us is Jim Luchsinger, VP of Business Development from Spectrum Manufacturing Corporation.
Thanks for having me. It's nice to be here.
So what are some of the challenges that the market is facing, and how is Spectrum Chemical helping to address these challenges?
I think as everyone knows, before COVID-19 hit, the biopharmaceutical market was growing at a really strong pace. And then when COVID-19 came into the into the world, it just really tightened up the supply for materials used in vaccines, recombinant proteins, and diagnostics. And so what was already a fairly tight supply chain just was got even so much tighter because of COVID. And so I think the biggest issue is obviously being able to understand where the shortages are, where the capacity issues are, and being able to handle that through better forecasting and working with your suppliers.
And the industry is still experiencing some supply chain challenges and disruptions. What is Spectrum Chemical doing to address this?
What we've been trying to do, obviously, is bring in material based on firm orders and forecasts, like all of our other suppliers in this industry do. In addition, we're trying to identify where we see gaps in the future or capacity issues in the future, working with our suppliers of those similar products and bringing them in ahead of time, and pretty much doing a risk sharing, right? Where we bring in extra material, not necessarily with a home, but with an understanding that in sometime in the future, whether it's 3, 6, or 12 months, we will need that product. And so we bring it ahead of time and share that inventory risk so we can better serve our customers.
And the biopharma industry has a lot of regulatory and compliance requirements. How can partnering with the right supplier help them meet the right requirements?
It's enormous. Regulatory is so important for a supplier to understand, again, how the chemicals being used by their customer, understanding the GMPs in different parts of the world, understanding the different monographs that are required. So you really need to have a supplier that understands that in order to launch your product with let's say, minimal issues or delays.
And what role does the quality control of raw materials play in biopharmaceutical development and production?
That's pivotal. You really need to have suppliers who have strong laboratory capabilities, testing capabilities, understand the different monographs and the science and art of those tests, because there are different monographs and different test methods. Actually, obviously, have some very unique issues that can come with them. In addition, it's been said in the industry over the years that that customers don't necessarily worry about what they test for, but they worry about everything else what they don't test for. And so you really need to have a supplier who understands those issues and is able to work with you on them.
And what can you tell us about Spectrum Chemical's bioCERTIFIED quality management system chemicals? How is it unique?
Well, it's definitely unique to Spectrum because historically Spectrum had, let's say, 1,100 different GMP materials of a variety of monographs, and if anything additional was needed, it was more of an a la carte menu. We'd add on additional specifications under custom code. What bioCERTIFIED has done is created our most fully tested multi-compendial material with bioburden and endotoxin included, so that if you need a high quality multi-compendial material with the fullest testing possible, then that would be bioCERTIFIED. In addition, under the bioCERTIFIED program, we have certain branded suppliers that we're partnering with, such as Angus for their Tris and Tris HCl products. In addition to DFE, we just signed an agreement with them to work with them on their injectable grade sucrose and trehalose, and also Mako Organics out of the Czech Republic we've been working with for several years for their high quality injectable grade inorganics.
In addition to bioCERTIFIED, what are some of the other things Spectrum Chemical is working on to serve biopharma?
Well, for the last 5 years, we've been optimizing our processes, seeing where we have gaps and where we can improve on those gaps. In addition, we have upgraded our web presence with a new web platform, e-commerce platform, in addition to beginning to end, improving on our forecasting, material handling, to better serve the market.
And how can drug makers and suppliers work together more effectively to bring products to market faster while meeting quality and compliance requirements?
Openness, transparency. It's so important if you have a new project as a biopharmaceutical manufacturer that you get in contact with your suppliers as soon as possible so they understand the specifications, the intended use of the materials, and where it's going to be sold or the final product is going to be used. Because if you don't share that kind of information in addition to even a broad forecast, right? It doesn't have to be exact, but any kind of forecast and packaging issues or packaging needs, it's really important to get ahead of that, because with such tightness in the market, if you don't do that, you could have an issue with not having material available at the time you need it.
Well, thank you so much, Jim. That was very fascinating, and thank you for joining us.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.